Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. Tesla stock, Apple stock, Nvidia. Which one to choose from and why? Well, if you can choose three of them, then go for it. If you're looking for short-term profits, I do believe that Tesla is doing great and it will continue to do great based on the political situation. Elon Musk now is officially in the US government, so things will be affected in that regard and Tesla will continue to pump a little bit. Although I'm not an EV fan. I'm not really a big fan of electric cars. I'm a petrol head. I do love V8s, V12s. I'm a big fossil fuel fan. That's me. All the Green Party lunatics out there, I mean, sorry to hear that, but it's just that's me. And that's the vast majority of people. Electric vehicles, they've been in experimental phase. I'm not saying that there are going to be no electric vehicles, but I would say it's not going to be as ambitious as it was like few years ago with the latest US administration and unrealistic EU targets for electric vehicles and being completely away from fossil fuel. I do believe that that's a bit unrealistic. So I do believe that Tesla will have some struggles in that kind of business plan. But I still do believe that Tesla is not exclusively electric vehicle manufacturer. Yes, that's the biggest portion right now, but they do battery technology, which is great. They do data collection, data acquisition. They know every single little bit of information about your car, what you're doing, how you're behaving, how you're driving, where are you, when are you. It's a whole cluster of data acquisition monster over there. So there are goods and bads about Tesla, but in general I do heavily invest in Tesla because currently the market is going well, and the idea behind Tesla it has merited. It's quite logical, but I don't believe that these ambitious targets will be achieved in the foreseeable future. But generally, the price of Tesla stock will continue to grow, and the share will continue to develop until probably $480 per share. That can be quite achievable. We're currently at around 410, 420. I didn't really check, but around 410, 420 or so. So we're awfully close, and probably potentially by the end of this year, we can have the magical number of 480. Can happen, probably 450. I don't know, but it's just within that range. So there is still a little bit of room to grow with Tesla. Apple, however, Apple is having this kind of slow and steady increase in price. Apple has been performing quite well. I know the iPhone 16 sales are not really up to expectations and slightly dropping than last year's, but in general, iPhone is dominating the space in terms of local businesses and so on. The reliance on Apple ecosystem is growing day by day. I know that Android is still dominating in some certain countries, but generally the iOS experience, the Apple ecosystem experiences is propelling this whole thing, and also Apple Cloud and cloud businesses for Apple is also a big portion of Apple's performance. So in general, I do believe that Apple will continue to grow. Probably I heard about a split, a 1-to-5 split or 1-to-3 split. I'm not really sure about that. I will dig deep and I will try to make sure of that piece of information. But generally, even if Apple split, this will make it more accessible for people, and this will encourage more people to invest in Apple stock. But generally, it's continuing to grow, and like always, Apple is just having this kind of almost linear line going with a good slope towards the upside. So of course, every now and then we have a little bit of a hiccup, we'll have a little bit of a spike, but generally Apple is slow and steady increase in price, so things are relatively stable. In terms of Nvidia is quite interesting. Nvidia had the craziest year last year and this year. I mean, they had absolutely astronomical performance. The price went crazy until they just reached the point that they needed to do 1-to-10 split, because the one share price was nearly touching $1,100. So that was quite huge. And if you don't have the capability to buy portions of the share, then you're not capable of entering the market. That's why they kind of damped it down a little bit and made it more accessible for people, and that actually encouraged more people to enter the market. And currently we're having a little bit of a consolidation. The price is not it's developing, but it's not really as quick as we hoped. And I do believe that the pump is happening and the AI craze is growing. AI reliance, it's not about ChatGPT, it's not about, your day-to-day things. I'm talking about more productivity AI application. I'm talking about AI being in the actual industry of refining things, of optimization, of even for video editors and video creators. AI is kind of seeping in and just, changing the game. So I do believe that AI will continue on the demand, and the demand means more business for Nvidia. And so far, I don't really notice any significant competition with Nvidia. I do believe it dominates the whole space right now. Until further notice, Nvidia is the main player in that game. So far, I do also believe in Nvidia. Which one will be having the most profit for now? I do believe Tesla will be having the most profit. Tesla went to an all-time high and is continuing to explore new all-time highs. So I do believe that currently Tesla is onto something, and it will continue to grow within the next few weeks or so, at least until Trump is officially in power. So we can have a little bit of a slowdown and the market stabilizes, and then we can reassess the whole situation with a much clearer overview of what's going on. But for now, it's just a craze in the market. Elon Musk is getting into the government, so everyone is just being a bit too greedy and entering the market based on these facts and figures. So it's just how it is right now. Apple is it's a bit of a steady increase, and Nvidia is just taking a little bit of breath after the massive gigantic bull run it had over the last few months. So it's completely normal. It will continue to pick up again, but after a little bit of consolidation, and then we can reassess the situation. Of course, if you want to invest in more stocks like Microsoft, Google, whatever, you can. But I would say I'm heavily invested in Tesla, Apple, and Nvidia. These are the main three, and of course others I'm exploring here and there. There are some good companies making good profits right now, but I do believe that the IT sector or technology sector is leading the whole entire U.S. economy right now, and that's dominating the whole stock market for the time being. Of course, I will be updating you whenever something else happens in the market. Thank you all for your attention, and see you next one. Bye bye.